Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Do Nails with me. Today's topic is going to be more of a freestyle and free-flowing information about what it takes to be a nail tech. I have plenty of different topics, plenty of places we can go, and we're just going to work with the stream of consciousness to discuss this. My name is Mackenzie, and I help solo entrepreneurs in beauty create more space for their deepest desires. Kind of talking loud like that because I'm trying to talk over an airplane or a helicopter. Super weird at this time of night. Okay, it's 1 a.m., but I was like, I am doing a video a day, okay? And in order for this to work, I'm gonna need to do a freestyle today. So today I really want to talk about what it takes to become a nail tech. If you are an aspiring nail tech, if you are an unlicensed nail tech who's already servicing clients, or you are a professional nail tech who's maybe unlicensed, or maybe you are licensed, but you feel as though you haven't really got your nail career off the ground, or perhaps you just service clients on the side, and maybe you have like a full-time job. This message is for you. First, I want to say that if you are an aspiring nail tech, definitely research what it takes to get your nail license. Having a nail license allows you to charge more money. And let's not pretend like we're not doing services in order to make more money. Of course, we're doing services to charge money and make money. This is not a channel where it's like, yeah, just follow your dreams, and if you have to like sleep in your car to do it, go ahead and do that. No, we need to make money from our services, okay? If we are going to be offering services as a professional nail tech, then that means we need to be able to have a high earning potential. We need to be able to create a pathway for our own success. We need to be able to quantify our skill level. So off rip immediately, okay? Nail school is going to give you at least, I don't know, I want to say 10,000 hours because that is the normal qualification to have mastered something. But nail school is in reality 16 weeks, at least where I live in Ohio. It was 16 weeks and it was 40 hours a week. So Monday through Friday, I went to school for 8 hours a day. And during that time, half of the day we studied in our booklets about passing state board. So we studied about sanitization, business, things like that for half of the day. And then the other half, we would actually perform services. We would do pedicures on each other. We would do manicures on each other. We would do all sorts of things on the second half of the day. And this gave us the skill level that we needed. So that way when we graduated from nail school, we weren't just walking out of there with a piece of paper. We actually had put hours in. Now, some of us put more hours in than others. It's really up to you. When you go to nail school, it's not exactly self-study. You will be in a classroom with other people and learn things with your classmates. But at the end of the day, when part 2 rolls around, if you're not being supervised, it's your own job to practice nails. There was plenty of times when only me and a few other nail techs were just practicing nails while the rest of my classmates were just sitting around looking at each other or talking. And that happened a lot. So when you have decided that you want to become a nail tech, start to research in your city, cosmetology school, or state board. Me personally, if I had to do it all over again, I would go for aesthetics just because I've always had an interest in aesthetics, an interest in facials, an interest in skincare, etc. So that originally was my plan, was to go to aesthetic school. But then I was like, hell no, it's 9 months long. I don't even know if I want to do this for real. Let me just do the quickest thing possible. And that was nail school. So that's honest to God how I got into doing nails, because I had an interest, but I also really wanted to learn aesthetics. But I realized that aesthetics wasn't going to teach me certain things that I wanted to know, mostly about herbal and natural remedies. Aesthetics really isn't going to teach too much of that. So that's why I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a licensed skill. Let me just go ahead and do nails. And that's how I ended up being a nail tech. Also, before all of this, I was an artist. My medium was paint, videography. I did podcasting briefly for a while. So I've always been in the arts. So naturally, nails was something that I was really, really interested in. And I was really interested in the technology of nails when I was coming up learning about nails. I loved hard gel. I was fascinated with hard gel, fascinated with how you could just cure it under the lamp and it would be done, fascinated with all the techniques having to do with nails. This included the Gel-X type of systems where you would use a nail form. This included actual nail forms, sticker nail forms. This included so many things. I just loved nail polish. And that's something that was totally authentic, and I didn't have to try very hard with that because I was already in love with that and in love with painting. Nail school taught me a lot. It really showed me at a brief level how hard I was going to have to work to just be a nail tech, and only a nail tech, right? Not a nail tech with a side gig or whatever, just a nail tech. Because when you're in nail school for 8 hours a day, obviously you can't work. You don't get paid for doing services. You can get tips, but people that are already bargain hunting for services are not leaving tips that you can live off of. So other people had jobs and things. I was lucky enough to where I did not have to have a job. My dad helped me get financial aid for nail school, and he also made sure that he paid for everything while I was in nail school. So shout out to my dad, because he really did that for me. He really held it down for me during those 16 weeks and beyond that, though. This was like an ongoing thing, me not being responsible for my life at this time. That went on for years, but that is another topic, okay? So I had the privilege of being able to solely focus on nails, and I put all of my energy into it. After nail school, I would come home and I would study, and with my boyfriend at the time, and I would study by myself. I would constantly be watching nail videos, and that was something that I absolutely loved to do. I was always looking at new nail products, and I was really doing a lot. And from that, I realized how much it was going to take to be solo, and perhaps I wasn't ready to be solo. So for 2 years after getting my nail license, I did random clients. I did, anyone who would let me do their nails as practice, sometimes for money. And I just got a lot better. I started to do techniques that I was specifically interested in, which would be hard gel, because when I was in nail school, we only learned and practiced with acrylic. We had a limited amount of gel. And when I say gel or hard gel, in a limited amount, I mean little to none. We were able to look at the products, but we weren't able to ever use the C&D products. So we couldn't practice. I had to end up getting my own. So after all of that, I ended up having a daughter. So this is like within the 2-year span. I graduated from nail school and then I was practicing and had a child. So by the time my daughter was 9 months old, I went back to work and I worked in a nail salon. Shout out to that nail salon. I learned so much from them, like incredible. And it's funny looking back on everything now because for the last year or two, I've been hearing like, everything that happens is for a reason and everything that happens builds you up to the person that you are. Things, once you can heal from them, don't happen to you, okay? They happen for you. And for a lot of the time, I wondered what that would feel like. So it's just a full circle moment looking over these videos and editing them and being able to talk about what's going on in them because I've been through so many things that at the time felt like difficult or traumatic, all for them to lead me to this very moment now. And I just feel blessed and I feel happy. So I wanted to take a moment to discuss that. But when I was in the nail salon, I was working with women who had been doing nails for 10 plus years in some certain circumstances. And then women who had been doing nails for 5 years, I learned a lot from every single last one of them. Okay, I learned what it meant to be a woman. I learned what it meant to be a bad bitch. Okay, I learned what it meant to service others. I learned what it meant to be a friend to your client. I learned what it meant to draw boundaries with certain clients. I learned a lot of information. I learned, most importantly, how to be professional with your clients, with yourself, with your name, with your brand, with your appearance. Okay, I learned a lot from working in a salon for a year, and I highly recommend it. So all in all, your first step is going to be to A, go to nail school, and B, at least give yourself an opportunity to learn from someone. Let's say you're dead set on not going into a salon. You need to find a mentor still. You need to find someone or some sort of organization or community where you can tap into to learn details, skills, and information that you're just not going to be able to know on your own. So let's discuss this technique. This is a watercolor technique I absolutely love. I do it all the time. And it really makes for a beautiful nail. So first I went ahead and painted the nails white. That was her background of choice. Now, of course, whatever color we use for the background is going to affect the design. So always keep that in mind. We wanted something really clean, pristine, and clear. She wanted rainbow, so the best color to use for her background would be white. And I did let white live in certain areas, and others I made sure from nail to nail it was covered with color without getting on her skin. So what you don't see is that I have another palette full of alcohol inks and all the colors are on it. So I can just kind of add and fill in the blanks. So when you're using alcohol ink on nails, you're going to always wipe the nails off before you do that. Before you get started, you're going to wipe the nails off, and then you're going to apply the paint. And you saw that I applied the paint and I left it on for quite a while. That is what you're going to do as well. You're going to leave it on. You're going to... Sorry, my brain froze. You're going to leave it on for a few minutes just so it can really set in and start to create that stain look. Yes. And that's how that works. Then you're going to go ahead and dip your paintbrush into a vat of alcohol. And I said vat because I have always wanted to use that word. No, that's not how you use it, but you get the gist. And then you're just going to go over the alcohol ink with the alcohol, and it's going to dissolve in whatever area you touch. It's going to lift, dissolve, and shift. So you kind of just have to push it around to places that you want, add a little color here, take away a little bit of color there. And so that's how that works. And then you're going to let it dry. I still cure mine because the light is going to make the nail hot and allow it to dry. But you can do it any kind of way that you want to. Just do whatever works for you. But that's my technique. And you saw that I hand drew a K on her nails. I absolutely love Old English. And I love doing Old English with my long, thin liner brush. Absolutely love it. Cannot get enough. So that's how the nails turned out. I went ahead and put hard gel on top, and then I did another layer of top coat, and that's basically it. Definitely click the link below to get my latest ebook, How to Gain and Retain Clients as a Nail Tech, and enjoy it, okay? I loved these nails. It was so great, like, looking back on these. These are fab. Just completely fabulous. As usual, I will leave you guys here to the rest of the video. Until next time, bye.